Hello and welcome to IU NewsNet Daily. I'm Katherine Patterson.
And I'm Abby Haymond. We have an update on the anti-Asian hate crime against an IU student a couple weeks ago and some information on a winter storm coming our way.
And Abby gives us a rundown on IU basketball as well as a quick look into the upcoming baseball season. IU NewsNet Daily begins now. With the winter storm on its way, getting to class tomorrow could be a challenge. Just a few weeks ago, campus looked like this, but despite abnormally warm temperatures to start the new year, snow is expected to begin in the morning with winds up to 20 miles per hour. The high on Wednesday is expected to be 37, and temperatures are expected to be in the 40s by Saturday. While you're planning your grocery trip around that storm, you might notice a higher price on one household staple, eggs. Because the avian flu is rapidly killing chickens, a dozen eggs could cost you more than $4. One local grocery store is trying to keep its prices down. Whole Foods Market is footing the extra cost of eggs so residents and college students can afford this source of protein.
So I would say that we were selling eggs as cheaply as $2.29 prior to the shortage of eggs, and now they're a minimum $3.59.
Now that's still a bit cheaper than some of the larger grocery chains in town. Last week marked a day of remembrance for Lauren Spearer, an IU student who disappeared 11 years ago. January 17th is her birthday. On that day, Spearer's mother posted on a Facebook page that is dedicated to updates about her daughter. She wrote, "You are always in my thoughts and in my heart. Maybe next year will be different. Maybe next year justice will walk hand in hand with you in the place of evil." We offer our thoughts to the Spearer family, and as a reminder, Lauren's case is ongoing. Anyone with tips is encouraged to inform IUPD or BPD. Nearly 2 weeks ago, an 18-year-old student suffered from anti-Asian hate, a crime in Bloomington. Bloomington resident Billy Davis allegedly stabbed the student in the head around 7 times on a Bloomington transit bus. Davis told police she attacked because of the student's Chinese ethnicity. Davis's public defender is seeking an insanity defense, and the Monroe County Circuit Court will soon schedule a competency hearing. Meanwhile, the attack has caused shock and fear across campus, with some Asian students saying they're trying to stay more vigilant. The IU School of Public Health announced it will establish a new center for gun violence prevention. The center has been given as a gift to the school by the Meisenheier family and will be named after their family member Otto, a victim of gun violence. The center will focus on research to the causes and effects of gun violence in the United States, research that has been said to be grossly underfunded. Now 40 Bloomington residents have been displaced after an apartment fire last Wednesday, including some students. According to the Bloomington Fire Department, they responded to several 911 calls at the 500 block of North Lincoln Street. The blaze caused damage to 18 apartment units, but no residents were injured in the fire. 2 firefighters were sent to the hospital for evaluation, but later released. The American Red Cross and the IU Dean of Students Office are assisting displaced residents. And now turning to sports, we have Abby Haymond to tell us what's going on with Hoosier Athletics.
That's right, Katherine. Indiana's men's basketball team has started to turn things around, and the women's team continues to dominate. Lastly, we have an update from Jeff Mercer as the baseball season is right around the corner. But let's start things off with the men's team. Indiana men's basketball is back to 500 after defeating Michigan State 82-69. The Hoosiers turned a slow start into a dominant finish. Trey Galloway and Tamar Bates stepped up with 17 points apiece. The two only followed Trace Jackson Davis, who had 31 points and 15 rebounds. TJD in his hero era for sure, with back-to-back 30-point games. Not only was he nominated as the Big Ten's Player of the Week, but Naismith, ESPN, and the NCAA named him Best Player in the country. This performance couldn't have come at a better time for Indiana, who needed to win these past 3 games to keep themselves in the competition. Hoping to keep this streak alive, Indiana will travel to Minneapolis tomorrow to take on Minnesota at 1 p.m. Next up, Indiana women's team continues to dominate as they knock down number 13 ranked Michigan. This win officially marks the best start in program history at 18-1. It comes at no surprise that Mackenzie Holmes led the team with 25 points. She had 10 rebounds for her 9th double-double of the season. One player did stand out slightly more than usual. Sarah Scalia came alive after a slow few weeks. She scored 19 points, one of her best games of the season, shooting 7 for 10. All 6 of Indiana's main rotations scored in the double digits. However, this Thursday, the Hoosiers have their biggest game of the season so far. Number 6 IU will host number 2 ranked Ohio State. The Buckeyes had remained one of the last undefeated teams in the nation, but they are going into Thursday coming off their first loss. Back in Assembly Hall, these two teams will face off at 8:30 p.m. Next up, in other news, the baseball season is right around the corner. Indiana head coach Jeff Mercer joined the MLB Network's Hot Stove on Monday. He addressed his coaching and recruiting styles as well as what it's like getting to coach in his home state of Indiana. The interview comes right after multiple Indiana players were selected in the preseason top 50 and top 100 players in the nation. Most notably, Philip Glasser, the senior, came in at 16 in the top 50 seniors.
Thank you, Abby. And ending on a fun note, have you ever wondered about where some of the most popular Hollywood film locations are? Well, in the U.S., it's Griffith Park in Los Angeles, which has 399 credits to its name, while Little 500 film Breaking Away was shot in Bloomington, Indiana's most popular location is the home of the real 500. That's right, it's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And that's a wrap for today's IU NewsNet Daily. Tune in for the latest updates on all Hoosier news and sports.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at IUNND.
For IU NewsNet Daily, I'm Katherine Patterson.
And I'm Abby Haymond. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all next week.